What's up guys, Garrett, HEIKES, and Andy Klassen here with Chasing the Dream TV, and we're just getting loaded up to head down to Oklahoma and do a little hog hunting, so have Andy do a little bit of telling you what we're doing.
Yeah, so we don't want to see any of those wild pigs up in Nebraska, so we're going to do our due diligence. We're going to run down to Oklahoma, hopefully get a couple shots on them. I'm going to take my 30-06. Garrett's going to be with the bow, of course. So right now we got our big frig coolers all loaded up. They're empty right now. But when we get back, they should be full of some pig meat, ham, whatever you want to call it. Let's go.
Sam Wilson, I'm the Fur Bearer and Carnivore Program Manager for the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission. So one of my tasks for the Game and Parks Commission is to coordinate our eradication efforts for feral hogs. And I hope that everybody knows feral hogs pose a threat to our native ecosystems, our agricultural systems, and wildlife in the state of Nebraska. And so, yeah, part of my job is to coordinate that response where we eradicate them. And that's been going on since 2004, so 15 years in, we're in great shape. You know, we think we've got most populations eradicated. The problem isn't really expansion of feral hog populations. You know, populations in Texas aren't expanding up to Nebraska. The problem is that they're riding in people's pickup trucks and trailers. And so uninformed people bring them up and think it might be fun to hunt them, but they don't realize it's illegal to own them and to release them and to hunt them in Nebraska, which are good laws which help us take away incentives for people to have them and allow us to get rid of the problem so we can have great hunting for native species and productive agricultural production. So one of the problems with feral hogs is they're not native, they're an invasive species, and they have a really fast reproductive cycle. So a sow can have 10 or 12 piglets and they can reproduce within a year, and so it's kind of a population bomb where they can end up with hundreds of feral hogs in just a few years. And of course they're eating and consuming food in the environment, and that same food should be available to white-tailed deer. They're also eating clutches of turkey eggs and things like that, and so the hunters in Nebraska and people who are interested in native wildlife should help us with our efforts to get rid of feral hogs. We have worked in Harlan County, in Seward County, and actually across the state, and so of course we're asking the public to contact us if they see any sign of feral pigs or get pictures of feral pigs on trail cameras, that kind of thing.
Well, if you guys know anything about Chasing the Dream, we always support our local economy, our local businesses, your hometown. You know, if you can buy something from your hometown, do it, whether it's sporting goods or whatever the case may be. I need another box of 30-06 shells here. Bomgars has actually expanded their sporting goods, so we're going to pull into Bomgars here. I'm going to buy an extra box of Winchester Super X 30-06 shells. The exact same shells, 180 grain, that we used over the summer when we took the precision shooting class with our buddies over there at Heartland Precision. So want to keep it consistent. We want another box of shells, so hey, we're going to pull into Bomgars here, pick up a box of shells. Here we go. All right, so we had a pretty fun first morning sit. It was really foggy, a little bit of drizzle in the air. Saw a lot of pigs come in. We saw some deer, a lot of good wildlife. Heard some gobblers off in the distance. So had a good sit down, but we never saw any pigs that were quite in the class that we were looking for.
I'd say he's done for. Good shot to me. Yeah. That's pretty exciting. Chasing the dream line right up. It's our second morning hog hunting down here in Oklahoma, and me and Andy just got done getting down out of the stand. Sat in a pretty cool little draw this morning, and I shot a pretty good pig earlier, but we're gonna track him. But yesterday, got down out of the stand yesterday morning, had plenty of small pigs around, didn't get a shot at any of the bigger ones. We saw two that were really big. We ended up getting down, doing some spot and stalking in the middle of the day, and then sat yesterday afternoon and had a bunch of rams and deer and small pigs around. Never had anything bigger to get a shot, so came back out this morning to a different spot, and looked like it was going to be really good early. Had plenty of pigs on us, and then they kind of disappeared, and the bigger one I shot snuck in on us, and it's the biggest one we've had a chance to shoot yet. But put a really good 15-yard shot on him. Arrow was covered in blood and he ran off. I don't think he could have made it too far, so we're gonna go track him. Did you see him when you were over there?
Nope.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good sized pig.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're a lot heavier than I thought. I think that's a pretty decent sized one.
not huge, yeah. I thought it was bigger.
Yeah.
You got him, Garrett? There it is. Ready? Well, a little bit of a change up. We're on our way back to the lodge actually after Garrett got his arrow all red there. I had my 30-06 ready to rock and roll, and that's what our guide told us, like, be ready at the drop of a hat. So we looked to our right, big group of hogs. There was a really big one, kind of trailing them. So swung my barrel over, took it off safety, loaded around, put a true shot on it. So let's go take a look.
Yeah, okay. Getting out of your way.
Sweet. That guy. Wild, man.
Yeah, that's fun.
First thing I get with my new 30-06 is a pig. Wild boar.
All right, guys, just got back here to the lodge. On our way back after picking some other guys up, we ran into a big group of hogs and ended up finding one pretty good one for Andy to go after. So stopped on the road there in the side-by-side, and guide said it's now or never. So Andy made a good shot and dropped his, about 190-pound boar, pretty big one here for right now. So we're just getting stuff resituated back at the lodge. Loading up big frigs with hog meat, and guys cleaning stuff up right now, so we can get everything loaded back up, start our 9-hour drive back home.
How you doing? Mike Bush here, BW Outdoors. What we're doing today is got the Camp Chef Woodwind pellet grill here with the sidekick and pizza oven attachment. What we've done so far this morning is some Oklahoma wild hog. So what we got here, kind of phase one, that I'm pulling off now is the loin. It's been on for about an hour and a half. Tender, right about 140 degrees internal temp. Really nothing special. Wild games, to me, it's all about the flavor. So a little bit of olive oil on there, and then some light seasoning, and let the pineapple juices soak right in the meat. It tastes great. So what we're gonna do is pull these off. got over here is kind of second part of the same hog hunt back in March. What we're doing is I'm just trimming the shank off, and good tender meat here. Had it just in the seasoning just for a few minutes. I'm gonna flip it over, and we're gonna give it a little more love here. I'm not a big seasoning person. I like to taste the flavor of the meat, especially wild game. So just kind of let that soak in. I know a lot of people like to really rub it in and overnight and everything. I think it kind of takes the flavor away from the meat. It's just my preference. So what we're gonna do is this is off the hind quarter, so you kind of have, it's just a big chunk, a couple chunks of just all meat right there. Not quite the ham, but and the one nice thing about pellet grills is if you're peaking, it's not cooking. So internal temperature probes, in my opinion, are very important. Just let the grill do the work for you. Keep the lid closed and come back. Well, we'll check it here in about an hour.